Oh, we got him. Oh, shh.
Once I hit you with that backspace, you ain't coming back. No control on the reach, give me space. Like time. Hit you with that backspace, you ain't coming back.
Green flag, let's go. Again, we're just being cautious. We're gonna be a super polite Nifty right now. Take positions if they kind of come to us unavoidably almost, because we're trying to force issues, we're going to get into trouble right now. And trouble can also just mean locking the tires and just hurting the tire life, you know? Like, a little bit of a swoop there. Yeah, like that. That we want to avoid that. Oh, we got a car around. That's Bourdais? Was it Pelot? Could have also been Jimmy Johnson. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think Jimmy Johnson would have been ahead of me though. But we got two cars, potentially championship contenders around there. Oh shoot! Oh well. I have a little mini map app that I meant to run, but it's not showing up in the top right corner. So sorry about that, everybody. Beep. All right, there we go. That'll stick. As soon as we got a nose on him, I knew he'd have to back out because again, we have the tire grip that he doesn't. Now VK up here, that'll be a different story. Side note though, we are getting into being in 22nd now. We're getting into good drivers having a bad day rather than just middling drivers in the standings. So I'm going to dump the full replay of this race onto Getting Sleepy TV, as I have been. So, hello, Getting Sleepy TV audience. Shout out, though, to my current Twitch home for live streaming, which is ETHERxSOCIAL. You want to watch this live? You want to come in, say hi in the chat? ETHERxSOCIAL on Twitch. Oh, we got him. Oh, shit. Okay, well. Did a good job not completely wrecking there. Ericsson's thinking about setting up a move up there. See him poke the nose to the left of Harvey. All right, VK's just going to take the defensive line. Try to... Nope, he's going to keep it tight. I was going to try to over-under him, but... was not meant to be. Again, a defensive line. He is really aware of me. I guess after I run into you, just kind of know avoiding me in the mirror, huh? Oh, we got a good exit. That's it. This is gonna be hairy though. I mean, I could have forced it. I don't know. I'm just nervous right now. No reason to throw it away on lap 7. Let's just try to... There we go. Okay. I pulled that same move where, like, technically there was a car with space there, but I didn't let it out for all. He had to maintain that line, kind of what he pulled on me a couple laps ago, and it was either run into me again or back out. See, I think if you take this defensive line, it might kind of ruin your exit right here. Nope, He got it down. Okay. Yeah, there's nowhere to go with that. Maybe I sneak it in here, though. That'll work. Yeah. Just a real quick sneak there for that last set of turns. It's hard to have a response to it. Okay, up to top 20, top 20. The recovery is coming along from bad qualifying. Okay. Sometimes I say okay just because, I don't know, there'll be like a little tab open, like on a browser, or like in my head, of like, I'm off the line, or, you know, I need to readjust for something. It might not look like anything, but it is something. Man, we are all stacked up here. Is it gonna leave me the space here? Yes. Okay. Don't let it out too much. She's right there. All right, 19th. Again, Jack Harvey just clogging up the field here. Look at that defensive move. Oh, don't chop me. That was close. That was a close one. Man, Ericsson is not messing around there. A couple of times there, I could have had my nose, and he's just like, I'm gonna... they call it the Pruitt fade, don't you know? I'd like to say hi to Scott Pruitt's wife and kids back at home. Hey, Starhopper, how you doing? Oh, man, he's slow. Let's go. He's going to block me on the inside. You can feel it coming. Nope, he's going to let me have it. Okay. Enjoying the race? Well, that's great. It's me versus the AI right now. Love iRacing's AI. This whole time, just slow. Man, I gotta say though, once I got around Ericsson there, they really fell off behind me. Ow. Yeah, jerk. Yeah, this is over. Okay. Yeah, again, that's just the human element. Like, I know iRacing's AI is just fantastic, but at a certain point, humans are just gonna be more... no matter how good the AI is, it's just, I'm more aggressive. I'm going to pound him. And I had it by like the January of the next year. I got it for Christmas from my brother. And yeah, I've been playing it ever since then. Great game. I just, because, okay, so my two favorite sports, my summertime sport is, oh, that's a car in the air. Holy moly. Okay. Well... that happened. Anyway, putting that out of mind for a second, what was I talking about? I don't know if it matters saying pitting in. Again, going back to the other game, it does matter in R-Factor, Automobilista, and that's Automobilista 1, by the way. Your pit crew, basically it simulates them setting up for a pit stop if you say you're coming in. So, I don't know if it matters in this one, but yeah, okay, so yeah, it's partly because I'm just most familiar with the Automobilista / R-Factor 1 game engine. I know if the AI is slow, I know how to fix that and the coding and all that. Oh boy, that was off the marks. Hey, Magic Doctor, how you doing? Let's get going here. Oh, don't crash. Okay. Do I watch F1? I don't usually watch it live. I usually watch the like, you know, 15-minute clips that they come out with or whatever on YouTube. I try to keep up with it, but sometimes it's hard if you don't have ESPN on your cable package, which I don't have a cable package. So how do we do on the cut here? It looks like we came out about 15. So we might have gained a couple of spots, but for the most part, that works. so I gotta skedaddle after I get this race done. But some other time, yes, I will get in touch with you on Discord. We'll try to arrange that. And if I don't get in touch, oh boy, if I don't get in touch with you on Discord, harass me about it. Yeah, man, what wheel? And that about 3 turns ago, Pato really turned in there. I thought I was going to lose my wing. All right, see, he's going to try to get alongside him. And then Rahal going to go left to block here. Just like clockwork. But we are close this time. We're going to just stick it in here and hope we can get right behind Rahal's gearbox. Yeah. Okay. That'll work. That'll work. Okay. First ever Ether motorcycle. Yes, okay. I want to make sure I read that right. Lots of E's flying around there in the chat. It wasn't easy. I mean, I do have to say, though, I need to figure out, is it me or is it the AI in this game that I feel like I have a strong race pace, but a slow qualifying pace? Like, I started 29th, and what, I'm up to 14th, 13th? Ooh, let's get out of 13th. That's a bad number. But am I superstitious? I like to joke that I'm not, I like to joke that I'm superstitious while I'm not superstitious. But at the same time, I'm always aware of it. And it does kind of like, you know, put a little thing in my brain when I'm in 13th or anything relating to 13th. And so I guess in a way I'm superstitious just because it distracts me. I don't know if that makes any sense. Is he going to block me? He's totally going to block me. Okay, we'll go out this way. Oh, Pato's going to pull the same move I pulled on him. All right, we fought him off. Yeah, Graham's a tough customer here. Going through the S here, I wouldn't try a pass actually, but I wanted to just see if I could get him to react to me putting the wing a little bit under him. Plus, actually, that helps aerodynamically a touch, but really I just wanted to see if I could get him to commit to going offline there for a second. Yeah, and maybe your experience will be different, but I find that the older Logitech wheels are a lot better. Oh, geez. Eat something. Full-handed. I do have a drink here, though. I got myself some iced tea, so I'll... There's a drink. Okay. What was the other one? Posture check? Posture is racing wheel in hand, so... Oh, he's gonna... Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. I am shocked he stuck out there. Ether was looking for content, and I'm like, well, I do this content though. So here I am. But yeah, no, getting Sleepy TV, there's a little sheepy. The majority of it was just my racing, so. All right, let's try to squeeze him here a bit. Just don't let him come out here. Yeah, okay, that's it. Now let's run away, because I don't want to have to fight him. Chokes me up for a second. I know, Mr. Australian. Now the pit lane line actually is right there. So you can kind of hustle it a little bit through that section. Although it's very narrow, so the diminishing returns kind of effect to it. How to do this time? Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, seriously. Both series are amazing. That's why I've got a fictional IndyCar series I'm running and a fictional Formula 1. And I also like a lot of the old tracks that both series used to run to. Like in my Formula 1 season, which I'm running in Automobilista, I started the season in Sepang. in Malaysia. It's just a cool track. I miss some of these cool tracks. My next race in IndyCar is going to be at Cleveland. Again, just a cool track that they don't run at anymore. And we got cold tires, so that's a difference between F1 and IndyCar. Is IndyCar doesn't allow tire warmers, so you have to kind of let your tires warm up before you start running hard. They used to. The U.S. Grand Prix used to be run at Indianapolis. Dude, I highly recommend the IR18. It's like the perfect little car. You want to do ovals? Go real fast on ovals. You want to do road courses? Lots of fun. You want to do street circuits? It's going to be quite the physical workout. Oh boy, too fast, too fast, too fast. Okay. And it's got like enough like adjustable things in the cockpit. Like, I mean, it is such a fun car. Now that said, I don't have a lot of iRacing experience with other things. I specifically bought, I'm weird. I'm very weird because I specifically bought iRacing to run AI IndyCar. And I know I'm like the only person in the world that's ever done that, but because I wanted an IndyCar game. I'm a huge IndyCar fan. There's no game for it. Kind of in the same way like there's no Drive to Survive for it. They're just real bad at marketing themselves. So that's how that's how I got into sim racing in general, because I was a huge IndyCar fan. There was no way to do it. And R Factor 1 back in the day was kind of the only way to build a season. Punched holes, don't ask me for the exact aerodynamics here, but they punched holes in the under tray of the car to let air through. To, what's the situation here? Oh, hi. Okay. Anyway, they punched holes in the bottom of the under tray to keep them from lifting like that, but it didn't help Colton, I suppose. So make of that what you will. NASCAR is a thing. How would I talk about it with NASCAR? Let's see here. I used to be, when I was a kid, a big NASCAR fan in the 90s. And early 2000s. Rusty Wallace was my guy. And, you know, it had its charm back then. And it was a fun racing product, same as anything else. And then a couple of things happened with NASCAR, in my opinion, and this is all just my opinion. One thing was that, switch this over here. With the rule changes, everybody knows they added a playoff system. Why does racing need a playoff system for a season? I don't know. But they thought that. They didn't. Okay, Scott, what are you doing? Jeez. They added the lucky dog was kind of like the first thing. But gosh, what else did they add? They added the green-white checker. And then they made the cars, and this is going to sound kind of reverse of logic here, but they made the cars super safe. And I am all about driver safety. Like I was saying, I love the aero screen, I love the halo. Even if they aesthetically were the ugliest thing I've ever seen, I love them because they're going to save drivers' lives and stuff. And to that extent, I love that they have made the NASCAR so much safer. That's great. But a byproduct of it was that a whole new generation came in my opinion. A whole new generation came in, and they kind of talk about this with like Kyle Busch, you know, being aggressive, and even though he's old now, and like, you know, all these drivers. But they basically treated this new generation more like bumper cars with very little respect for the other competitors. I was watching, because it's just part of the day, I was watching the Coca-Cola 600, and gosh, was it Austin Dillon who made this move? It was on the back straightaway, and he got a huge run aerodynamically. And he just, going into the next corner, he just threw it in 3 wide. And of course they crashed. And I just remember, it's not often I catch a NASCAR race because it was, you know, the day of motorsport, whatever, with Monaco and Indy. And I just remember thinking to myself while I was watching, I was like, never in my life would that have been how a driver would have done that until, you know, the last 10 years. Because, you know, there was a respect, like the odds of coming out the other side of going 3 wide into a turn in NASCAR like that. The odds were very low. It was clearly going to result in somebody getting hit by somebody, and when the cars were less safe, there was a hesitation. If somebody pulled out that move, they kind of had a trick up their sleeve or an idea of where they were going. And I'm not trying to trash Austin Dillon. If you find yourself as a NASCAR driver, this is how you stay competitive now, because of the point system, the way that the wins ensure your place in the playoff bracket or whatever. And so NASCAR drivers, that's another thing. NASCAR has kind of built a rule system that encourages all this crashing. But, and if you're a NASCAR driver, what else are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, Montoya ran NASCAR. He had to adjust to this, where it's just like, what else are you going to do? You got to try to either do something crazy or crash the car. And more often than not, it crashes the car. And I think NASCAR likes that because they've engineered the cars to be so safe. And it's, great ratings. And it's going to be on TV the next day. Oh my gosh, look at this, 7-car pileup. One car flips over, gets air, and catches on fire. Like, like it's highlight, it's exactly the kind of stuff Sports Center is going to eat up. And it just takes away an element because, I was watching the race where Dale Earnhardt died, and I'm not necessarily like a big do it for Dale guy or anything like that. I'm really not. NASCAR's not my thing. But, it was so sombering, so, like everybody knew at the time this was a crash that could happen, especially with the restrictor plate tracks. And, like nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted that to happen. And it was, if you look at it, I guess I've got a microphone right now. I can go ahead and call it like it is. Dale Earnhardt was blocking to let Junior and Junior's teammate Michael Waltrip win the race. And I'm not saying he deserved to die. I'm not saying that. But that crash is definitely from him stacking up the field like that. And, because a lot of cars were very much faster, just kind of stacked them up. Yeah, they ran into him. And, again, nobody liked that kind of restrictor plate crash. Although it didn't immediately seem like Earnhardt would have been hurt critically from that, because it looked kind of like a silly, not silly, that's the wrong word, but like a not catastrophic crash. It looked like a normal, everyday, routine crash. But, and there's separate conversations we can have about Dale Earnhardt with loosening seatbelts and not running a Hans device and things like that, but let's not go there. That, it's just there was so much more respect back then for each other in NASCAR. And I'm not saying, everybody was always squeaky clean. That's Takuma Sato off the track to the left. I'm not saying everybody was always squeaky clean in NASCAR. Certainly there was bumping, there was, some shoving, some argy-bargy, if you will. And it's just that there was always this, safety threshold that the drivers themselves had to come in with. And they don't now, because if you crash, we saw a horrific crash a couple of years ago at the Daytona 500 with Ryan Newman. Flipped over, and basically the front windshield was hit head-on by another NASCAR going 200 miles an hour. And it was scary, and we actually all, I was in the Reddit live, but everybody was kind of afraid of it. It was like, oh my gosh. And he wasn't released from the hospital until the next day or something, but it wasn't like that before, where drivers knew. And in IndyCar is kind of the same way. IndyCar now is the same way NASCAR was, which was on these high-speed ovals. There's a certain, level of respect among the drivers because it is dangerous and it can end in the worst way possible. But NASCAR now, they've basically trained their drivers to not worry about that. And so, yeah, Austin Dillon lunges it 3 wide going into a turn that clearly somebody's going to crash. And it's not as fun because, like you're saying, it's not fun watching it just for the crashes, and you like clean racing. And yeah, I love watching racecraft, setting up a guy, trying to figure out how you're going to overtake them, things like that. But teach their own. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk on NASCAR. I don't dislike the idea of NASCAR though. Trying to wheel a heavy car like that over a long distance race on such a specialized product on an oval, right? Like, because setups on ovals are nuts, and that's kind of what I was saying with IndyCar. Whoops, just kind of cut off Pato there. But same with NASCAR. I mean, to a lesser extent because they're slower. But yes, highlight stickers are dumb. Okay, what are you doing? Are you over there still? No. Okay, I thought he was hanging with me on the left still. Yeah, headlight stickers are silly. Actually, I think they did that as a safety thing because they didn't want glass back in the day in a crash. They didn't want glass flying all over, but now everything's, you just make it, I don't know, plexi or something. Like it wouldn't actually be glass.
Boxing 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Ah, crap.
Go, go, go!
See how bad that hurt. I mean, I didn't say where you're going, so I figured, and, real quickly in my head, I was like, I didn't say where he's going. He could go anywhere. You're moving to the moon. All right, how bad did that? Looks like that sent me back to about 12th, missing my box like that.
Left side. Keep to the right.
All right, that one's done. All right, white flag, one more to go.
Car right.
Oh,
Still there, hold your line.
I was there.
Clear on the right.
Don't know what you're doing. Scott's the last position here. Because there's no way I'm getting ahead of two lapped cars too, so. Just chuck it into the next braking zone here and see what happens. Nope. Can't do it. All right, we're going to come home, I think, 10th.